right, freestyle. Let's go through some pennies or cents. I don't know. It says pennies on those. It'd be weird to say 50 cents in cents. You'd have to say 50 cents in pennies to be clear, right? But anyway, these were all in these tins. Some of them were in these sleeves. And some cool stuff was mixed in with them. Various scrap metal, but here actually a couple of dollars face value. Probably a 50-cent piece face value. This one should be silver. If we check on the side, there's no, see, it looks like silver. It doesn't look like copper or anything. These aren't silver. These are worth $1. That one's silver. That one's worth 50 cents, I think. That one's silver. That's pretty cool. And that dime is silver too. Anyway, on to these. How I'm sorting them. Well, first of all, let's just look on the surface and see if we see any cool ones, because sometimes you find like the wheat pennies. Oh, there's one right now. Go see the wheat stalks. I like the backlight. You can see the details. So what year is it? 46. Oh, that's the year my dad was born. All right, so I'm gonna put that in the wheat penny jar. This whole jar is full of pennies from 1909 to 1958, is it? Okay. All right, well, I won't waste a lot of your time just kind of sifting too much. I'll get to the ones that I can see already. Oh, there's another wheat penny. What year? 44. All right, same the wheat pennies. Of course, anything 1981 and before is all, I mean, 95% copper, 90% copper. Even the Lincoln pennies, and you can kind of see the copper ones. I mean, this one looks older. One of them here looks older. Maybe, yeah, 70s. So I'm gonna put that in with the ones that are from 58 until 81. I'm not gonna mix in 82s with that, because 82s are like half. Some are copper and some aren't. So I'm just gonna eliminate that from the equation. I'll put that in with the so-called clad coins no matter what. 82 to present is a clad coin. It's a zinc coin that's plated or clad in copper, and it's really not worth much as far as like a precious metal, and it's not a durable coin either. So you're looking for, you know, the copper ones, but the ones that are modern are worth 1 cent, and the clad ones, that is, and we'll coin star those, and we'll get, you know, if once we get going, we're making like a penny. We're making, you know, like a 1 cent every couple seconds, you know, so that starts to add up. I mean, when you have a big pile even of pennies, it's like you feel like Scrooge McDuck sometimes. It's like doing a puzzle. Anyway, this one's a 59. This is the first year of the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But they're so crisp, like the 50s and 60s ones. And I'm kind of dreaming of finding a wheat penny that's marked 1959. I don't even know if they exist, but so that one goes in with the up until 1981s. You know, and it's fun to look for the old ones, but at a certain point you got to get systematic to get through all these coins. But also you can just kind of tell what they are. Like these kind of rose gold colored ones, they're always the clad ones. You know, 2003. So I'm going to put that in the Coinstar ones. You know, here's some kind of worn out old. There's another 59. No, there's a, I don't know, there's a 70. You get my point. Sometimes I just pick out the ones that I know are copper real quick. Like, okay, I don't even know if you can see it, but I got to do it. So, oh, look, here's a 60 that's kind of shiny, or a 69 that's kind of shiny. That's cool. So, The 60s ones are really crisply printed, and some of the 70s ones too. Like here's the 77. Oh, of course you're gonna find evil Canadian quarters, or Canadian cents or pennies, if you will. But a lot of these are 95% copper too, so you can separate those out. And in the case that they're not, and they're clad, 77. I don't know offhand what year Canada stopped doing 90, mostly copper. I mean, if I had to guess, I mean, this looks coppery to me. Anyway, I'll put that aside for giving to kids. Or possibly I'll save together for copper value. Because, I mean, I don't know if I mentioned it, but there's like 3 cents of copper, you know, give or take, in a penny before 1981 or 1981 and before. See a 61? Look how crisp the like imprint is. It's really cool. What about the back? Yeah. From the date, you can really tell how crisp the imprint is for me. See that? So, because if I deliberately pick like something from the 80s, you know, it's a much less like in relief impression. And it has that rose gold color, and it's lighter in weight, so that's an obvious one. That's Coinstar. All right, so I don't know, did I leave anything out? That's pretty much how I do it. Let's just look at a few more. I mean, you can stop watching now if you want. Let's just, sometimes I get, when I want to go fast, because you got to go fast, because let me tell you how many piles like this I've done, like 10 piles like this. But those 60s prints are really nice. And they say like the S mint marks are valuable. And sometimes you find like an error. I'm not pulling out the errors because, I mean, I'll pull out the errors, but if I sell these, then everything's going to be included. Cool. Yeah, here's a nice shiny 78. So you can't just assume that the older ones are going to be dull. You know, but to get going fast, I just grab copper ones. I slide them around, like fill my hand with them really quick, and just pick. The ones that are obviously, no, I confirm it, but that are obviously, you know, the older ones. I'm like, you know, 76. I try not to turn them over. I just try to pick like the face up ones a little bit. So anyway, once I get like a handful of let's say the older ones, here's an 80, here's a 77, here's a 76, a 64, a 77, a 69, 64, 69, 80. See, even the 80s ones. Oh, here comes a wheat penny, 46. All right, let's put that aside, because these are the 3 collections that I'd sell to. One is Coinstar. These ones are copper. And those ones are copper too, with the wheat pennies. So, you know, at a certain point, I start getting a lot of the coppery ones out, the ones that can be interesting and old, 77, 60, something. I mean, I don't have to really confirm that fast. If I see something really weird on it, I'll stop. But again, you got to get moving. Okay, here comes a wheat penny, 49. A lot of the ones you find are 40s and 50s, but if you find the really early ones, you're like, you have something there. Wheat pennies, meanwhile, these were the coppery ones. And then at a certain point, a lot of the coppery ones get picked away, or you just get bored with it. And then you want to, you know, emerge to the surface the newer pennies that you just want to get out of the way. So, I mean, here's an obvious pile of them because they have that rose gold color. 89, 87. And I'd be using two hands. I wouldn't be filming, so it would be faster. 2011, 83, 87, 89. 11 is the oldest I've found in all of these. 87, 89. I mean, I'm going slower than I would, but I do always want to confirm, because sometimes you find like a nice old one that's real shiny, but it's so obvious. 84. But I mean, it depends what posture you want to take too. 84, 06, 07. Once you start dropping them again, you probably should put them in the coin star. Now I see a nice vein, if you will, of old ones, so I'll grab a couple of 70s, is a 59. That was an 83 that looked like copper, but I guess it was worn out. 74, 81. 81's the cutoff for me. 67. That one's like a little bit cut to the side. I'm not sure how special it is, but it's pretty cool to me, and I'm just gonna put it in with all the other ones. I'm not gonna like put this in a display case or anything, but I kind of like that. Right, so moving on to copper still. And with two hands, you can kind of slide them around like poker chips. But, and it's really a pain when you mix up the jars to like fish out any. So like, it's kind of like, all right, 74, 71, 64. It gets tedious, you take breaks, listen to the radio, like 79, 80, 72. My hand's getting pretty full. But, I mean, I always tell myself I'm going to put it on a tripod, but I don't have the equipment ready. Great, we're dropping them on the floor. Anyway, into the middle jar we go. I'm going to let you go pretty soon, but let's at least find, I like logical stopping points. And, oh, look, this is of interest. This is an 82. It's probably copper. Feels kind of heavy-ish. But I just don't want to muddy the waters. I want to make a finer product. So I'm just going to coin star the 82 no matter what. Is that wrong? 85. That looks coppery, but is clad. Okay, so coin star she goes. The 80. Still nice and coppery. All right. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. Let's find another wheat penny. 56. Pretty cool. Don't put it in the wrong jar. That's what I'm trying to say. 75, 78. All right, we're looking for wheaties right now. Can we spot them by eye without on the obverse, not the reverse? The reverse is easy. You see the wheat stalks. Can you spot an old one by how the front looks? 63. So we're basically looking for wheaties. 1970. Oh, here goes a Canada. 2007. I think this is a clad Canadian set, so really not worth anything to us or anyone, except for a Canadian. I hope maybe I'll give a whole pile of these to a Canadian, and then boom. All right, 50, 1950 even. Nice. Is that one again? All right, let's just look for wheaties again. 57. See, these are like almost red copper. Look at that. It's cool. Oh, there we go again. This one's like more black. It's still that red copper though. 56. Oh, it's a 59. Looks nice and old-fashioned. So compare the 75 to the 59. 59 looks like an old trophy, but it's still really crisp. That's cool. Okay, some people pull out the 59s. I'm not sure. Oh, here's another one. But I'm just going to leave those in with the copper Lincoln Memorials. I just put a 60s one in there. Here's an 81. This is the last year that you're sure for sure it's copper. And they still look rather stately. You know, and here again are the newer clad ones. 2002, 95, 2001. Let's look for a couple more wheat pennies. I mean, you can probably stop watching. Add pizza. Do you want to see the pizza? Let's look at the pizza. If you made it this far to see the pizza, then good on you and thank you.